Hello, 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 and welcome back to The Salted Journey. My name is Glaelle. Um, and I'm happy that you're here. So I know it's been a long time. I think it's been like a month, if not. Since I uploaded a video or even recorded. And a lot has happened within that time. I feel like I lived like 5 different lives within that short period space. I don't even know where to start. As always, um, if you are watching this for the first time, this is the Salted Journey, and it's basically kind of like a documentation of my journey with Christ. So wherever I'm at, whether good or bad, or whether good or bad or in the middle, I talk about it from that space. I try to be as honest, vulnerable, and transparent as I could be, allowing the Holy Spirit to lead, and leaving room for interruptions and stuff like that. So this is not necessarily like it is not a scripted show. It's not predetermined. It is life as it is in this moment for me. And I appreciate it that way, because when I'm in a new season, I get to look back and be like, wow, like this is where I was at. Yeah. So I haven't been recording for a minute, and that's because the simplest answer that I could, and I say simplest because I don't necessarily put words into a lot of things that has happened, but the most simplest answer is that I was not in a great mental space to come on here and speak. I didn't want to lead anyone astray. I didn't want to confuse anyone. I didn't want to put any negative energy out there that was not necessarily a true representation of how I was really feeling. So I had a lot of feelings like mumbled up in one. And although this is a space where I'm meant to speak from where I'm at, I literally couldn't even put into words where I was at, because it was just too many thoughts. It was very overwhelming. I felt a lot of different things: anger, fear, anxious, frustration, annoyed. Like, it was just a lot and a lot. And I would probably just came on here and just like, I don't know, had a hate speech, like and it's not a true representation of how I felt. It would just be me speaking from a place of confusion. And I didn't want to lead anyone astray either. Like, although this is my journey and speaking from my personal space moment from where I'm at, I also feel like I have a unspoken responsibility to the viewers, the listeners, that I don't want to like lead God's people away, or like fuel something that doesn't need to be fueled, or give the devil like a playing ground. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But now I'm in a better space and in a way where like I'm no longer angry. I'm no longer necessarily like in a bad cloud space, I would say. There's still some confusion, and maybe I'll get into that if I have the words for it. But I'm no longer like angry. So a lot has happened. My friend V gave birth to a beautiful little girl. She is so pretty and just perfect. That was just, and I know this may sound weird to some, but I am when I love someone, like, I love them, and my heart is sensitive to those I love. And I'm not gonna get into the details, but she was telling me a little bit about her labor. And when I tell you guys, and she doesn't know this, whenever she does watch this, she's gonna know then. But I literally was crying. Like, when I say crying, like, not just a little single tear, no, like snot crying, hysterical, because just the thought of my friend going to something that dramatic and going through something painful, just like, it literally affected my brain. Like, it was just, my mom even had to like talk, because I literally bawled out crying out of nowhere, like. And mom was like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I was like, my friend went into labor. My mom knew that she gave birth and stuff like that. And then it was just a lot of emotions that I felt. And I was just crying my eyes out. My mom was like, it's okay. Like, she was like, you can't control what happens to anyone. Like, when it's someone's time to go, it's their time to go. Like, our feelings really, not that our feelings don't matter, but it's like, you can't, what's in God's plan is in God's plan. And she was just like, you gotta have faith. Like, you have to have faith that to know that she's gonna be okay, and blah blah blah, and all of that stuff. But my heart was just like very sensitive. And I didn't portray that. I hope I didn't as much as I couldn't. Like, I didn't like give her an inclination that I was like distraught, but I just kept checking in. Like, no, I kept waiting for her to message me, like, letting me know that she was okay, because you just gave birth, you're in the hospital, like, you're tired, your main priority is your baby. And I understood that 100%, but I was literally like waiting by the phone, like, I just want to get like a word, like, girl, are you alive, please. But that was, yeah. I literally lost it, because I love my friend so much. But yeah, she is very, very strong. All the mothers out there, like, hats off to you, because, oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot that women go through to bring babies into this world. Like, it's literally a life or death situation. And hats off. The utmost respect for all the women who gave birth. And people who voluntarily choose that as a job to give birth to other people's babies, you need all the roses every single day, literally. But yeah, so she gave birth, her baby's healthy, beautiful. She's home now. My friend is home with the baby, and she's good. What else happened? A lot happened. So, as you guys know, well, if you don't know, I have a nonprofit, and God basically, I felt like God was telling me to focus on the nonprofit full time. I had gotten laid off earlier this year, so I was just focusing on that and applying for grants and hoping that something came up so that I'm able to give myself a salary. So if you don't know, like, nonprofit owners are able to get paid through that, although it's a nonprofit. They just put themselves down as like a worker or whatever, executive director, and they get paid a salary through grants and donations and so on and so on. So, because the nonprofit doesn't have any profitable products, like, we're not selling anything, we're not providing any service for sales, like, everything is free of charge. All the things that we give is through donations to do good. So I was really hoping for that, and just praying, like, and a lot of things came into my head, like, the heaviness of it all, the responsibilities, the financial responsibilities, the things that I want to do, like, all of that was very, very heavy. And during that time, it was like 4 weeks ago, I was literally praying, like, that God allows me to get like something like a grant that I could, and I was really hoping for this specific grant too. And I was just very like anxious and very like worrisome and like really really hoping. You know when you put all your hope into something and you're like, this can't, and you're like, this can't go any other way other than the way that I'm hoping for, because I will lose it. So it was that type of feeling and that type of season I was in, I guess that was, I could describe it as. And I got and I woke up one day, it was July 11th, and I was praying again about the same thing. God, please bring me some money, like please bring me provision. And I was reciting like verses that says that God will provide, blah blah blah. And I was just really putting my hope in it. And then I went on with my merry day. And then when I was eating breakfast, preparing breakfast, I was making myself an iced matcha latte. It's crazy because I am revisiting that place right now. And I got an email from the grant, and how before I could even read it, I went into prayer. And I was just like, please. But deep down inside, I felt like I didn't get it. Because I have a heavy amount of anxiety and doubt that good things will happen to me or for me. I don't know why, but that's just where I was and kind of am. So I read the email and I didn't get it, and I went into like a spiral. I literally cried and was just like, why me? Like, yeah. There's a scripture, and I'm gonna look it up quickly, and it talks about hope deferred. I think that's what it is. And I'm sorry if the sound is a little like scattered today. I don't have the best quality today, but I was like, it is what it is. There's a lot of cars passing by, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. So yes, so this is Proverbs 13:12. It says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. When I tell you I was sick, I was sick. Like, I was literally like the biggest pit in my chest, my stomach, I was like, yeah. And I went on a hate rant. And I was just talking to God like, yeah, like he was not God. Let me just say that. Yeah, so I felt a lot of anger during that moment. And I was just letting God have it. And it just sounds stupid just saying that. But I was just letting him know exactly how I felt, how angry I was, how unfair it was, and how much hope I had in this, and trust I had in him, and da 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 da. Like, how could he, and all the things you could think of, is all of that. And I just went off. I went off for a week. For a few days, I just went off. I didn't go to my Monday prayer because I was like, it's so bad. I didn't want to hear any good message. I didn't want to hear nobody telling me like, everything's gonna be okay, things will be fine, you just have to keep hoping, you just have to keep trusting, the Bible says. And I just didn't want to hear any of that. Like, I didn't want to hear the good things, like the thing people say to people when they're going through a tough time. Like, I don't want to hear it. I didn't care. Because unless you could put money in my pocket right now, I don't want to hear your 2 cents and your motivational speeches about what I'm going through. Like, and that's where I was. And then to come on here and talk to you guys on a pod with that type of negative energy, yeah. I could not do anybody like that. I was like, I don't know where anybody is in their journey. I want to come on and speak, whether they saw it the next week or a year from now. What's put on the internet will be put out. Whatever I put would stay there. I don't want to, like, you know. So yeah, hope deferred makes the heart sick, and I was very very sick. And you know, I just couldn't understand. I couldn't wrap my head around anything. I was like, God, you know, I've been obedient. I did exactly what you said. I've done this. I tithe. I've been this. I refrained from anything fun, remotely fun. I refrained from drinking, from going out, from dating, from partying, from this and that, from anything, whether it was a sin or not, anything that was fun, I refrained from it. You know, I was like, I've been home, I've been praying, I've been reading my word, I've been going to the gym, I've been eating healthier. Like, I've done all the things that I thought that I needed to do. You know, I've been working at a nonprofit, I've been putting in time, I've been anything, all the things. And I just felt like, why couldn't I get what I wanted? Why couldn't God save me in that moment? Why couldn't God come through for me in that moment? Why couldn't God fulfill my hope? Like, why couldn't he fulfill that desire, that need that I needed at that moment? Why did he have to let me down? Like, and I just went on a rant. I was very upset, very confused, because I was like, I don't get it. Like, you see it time and time again in the Bible, like, you know, someone is obedient and, you know, God shows up. And I'm like, I've been obedient. Why didn't you show up for me? And I just felt like, why not me? And I just felt a lot of things. I felt anger, hate, confusion, frustration. I felt hopeless. Like, I lost all the hope I ever had in the world. And then I felt stupid at the same time, because I was just like, there are people literally dying. And I'm like, it was like all these negative emotions, and just a lot was happening at the same time. And I just couldn't understand. I just couldn't. And that moment, I just like, God, I really, truly don't understand you. I just truly couldn't understand, like, why certain people get certain things and certain people don't. Why certain people have to wait 50 years for a blessing that they've been waiting for until they get it. Like, why is it fair but not fair? Like, and all these contradictions that are in the Bible, like, why? Like, just why? And I just really just couldn't understand. And, you know, shout out to my friend Alexia. that girl, I love that girl. She was literally like, you know, she was messaging me. I had hit her up to ask her about her situation when I found out that I didn't get the grant. And I just let loose on her. Unwarranted. Not let loose on her where I was like, you know, be angry. But I was just like, just telling her like, yo, I didn't get the grant, and I just wrote like, I'm done. I'm actually done with everything. I'm like done. And she was just like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Da, 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 da. I was just like, no, I'm done. Like, it was just, I can't no more. I had literally no more to give. Like, I was just like, I gave you all the hope that I had. I poured it all into you, and now I have nothing. Like, I have absolutely nothing to give you. And that's exactly how I felt. And shout out to her. She kept checking in on me and, you know, giving me her best words. And I appreciate that. But I just was still in that space, because like, I couldn't necessarily truly portray how I felt, because I was so confused and so angry and just so all over the place and so overwhelmed. So I couldn't really articulate to her. So I dang sure couldn't articulate anything to you guys, like, on video. Like, absolutely not. So it wasn't until, like, I think like 2 weeks later, I decided to actually, so that Monday, was it 3 weeks later? One of those. It was one of the Mondays. Group was canceled. My prayer group was canceled, and then the following week I didn't go. And then the following week after that, I did go. I think that's how it went. And then I went, and then I forgot what we were talking about, but my energy was completely off, and everybody saw it. And I just went on a kind of like said a little bit about like how I felt, however I could articulate it. So it was like 2 to 3 weeks of me just feeling this feeling. And I was just like, I don't understand like what I'm doing wrong, blah blah blah. I forgot what I said, honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. But I brought that up because the leader of that group did end up like messaging me the next day, asking me like what happened, and maybe I could read to you guys the text message. If it's too long, maybe I won't, but let's see. Okay, she's, oh, wait. She said, "Hey, Glaelle, I was thinking about you some more. Maybe you're not supposed to be doing anything." This was July 24th. So July 11th, 2 weeks. She said maybe you're not supposed to be doing anything but allowing God to develop what He's doing in you, if that makes sense. And I was like, I don't know. And I just wrote, I was like, I truly don't know anymore. I feel like everything I know to be true is false. I feel like I'm doing life wrong. And I really felt that. I really felt like I don't know anymore. Because I felt like I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, everything correct. But I feel like it's not yielding me the results that the Bible said it would, or how I imagined it to be. So I just feel like maybe I'm doing everything wrong. And she asked me like what, and she asked how so, did something happen or something happening. And she said there are areas in my life where looking back I feel the same way, but the encouragement is nothing is wasted. God uses everything. But what's causing you to feel that way? And this is what I wrote. And I wrote a lot of things because my mind was everywhere. So I wrote, I got a bit of revelation. Oh, okay. Okay, great. So the night, okay, so that was Tuesday. So Monday I had the prayer group and I said what I said. And then I left prayer group still feeling down and confused and stuff like that. And then that night when I was getting ready for bed, I was laying in bed and I just asked God, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's up? And He gave me this vision. Sometimes God speaks to me through visions, and not like a that's a raven, you know. Well, like, well, maybe, but like I would just get like a movie, like a little vision of a film. I don't know. You'll get it when I say what the vision is. And it kind of made sense, and I was like, okay, cool. I got this vision now. How do I move forward? So I told her I got a bit of revelation last night in prayer, and it gave me a bit of clarity. Because I was seeking understanding and clarity. And my friend Alexia was like, maybe you're not supposed to understand. And I was like, dang, how am I supposed to move forward without understanding? Like, with all that get understanding. And I didn't have that. I didn't understand God. I didn't understand why certain things happen the way they do. Like, I didn't understand. And although, you know, God is supposed to be a mystery, the mystery of God is something. But He still has to give us some type of understanding and wisdom in order for us to maneuver within life. So I just didn't have understanding. I was like, I don't get it. Just to give me a better clarity to vision. And then I said, so this particular group is under Transformation Church with Pastor Mike. If you know him, you know. So I said, when I see Pastor Mike or people like him, meaning pastors who are in media, who are successful in their walk, and Pastor Mike talks about his journey in Crazy Faith and Bamboo Faith. It's one of the series. He has a series called Crazy Faith and Bamboo Faith. They're both different sermon series. And I was like, basically the cheat code on how he got to where he's at. I was like, as someone like me who does really well with instructions, obedience, and structure, I take things very literal. So if the Bible says do this and get that, I would do it and expect to get that. So when those things don't pan out like the instruction manual says, it leaves me confused, lost, frustrated, and exhausted. I hope that makes sense. So it felt like everything I knew wasn't quite true. And since last night, I realized that everything is but isn't at the same time. There is no formula, nothing can be duplicated. Crazy Faith okay, maybe won't exactly yield in crazy results. Being obedient won't always bring results. Do or don't do, the result is out of my control. I feel like the teachings I receive and my interpretation of scriptures are all wrong, plus my experience trauma give me a tainted view. And she said, okay, I understand what you're saying and I understand how you're feeling. This requires a phone call. We'll call when I get off work. I told her, thank you for understanding. I really couldn't quite put in words. And then she ended up calling me. We'll get into that. But these are the messages of how I felt at the moment. I hope that give you all clarity on that, of where I was in that space. I felt like you do, you don't do, whatever the outcome is literally out of your control. Meaning like, yes, there's consequences in life for certain things, but doesn't necessarily mean that you still won't be blessed. Or you do all the right things doesn't necessarily mean that you will always be blessed or you always receive but like an overflow of blessings or whatever. I hope I'm making sense. Like, for example, someone could like rob a bank and then go to jail and then come out of jail and become a multi-millionaire. Or someone could just be very studious, stay out of trouble, work really hard, and never reach a million. And that's the one of the examples. Another example could be like someone could have lived a very promiscuous lifestyle. A woman could have lived a very promiscuous lifestyle, or man, whatever. Done all the wrong things, hanged out with all the wrong people, but still could be blessed with a amazing husband and have a beautiful home and family. And then someone could be like constantly like the most modest woman you could ever know, stay out of trouble, keep themselves like feminine, all of that, and just couldn't never find the right mate. And I know these are like, you know, very extremes, two different extremes, but that's how I felt. So in my mind, because of how I was raised and how society is, you go to school, you study hard, you do your homework, you do everything you have to do, and you get a degree. A plus B equals C. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Like, you know what I mean? So that's how I calculated my walk with God, faith, everything. You read your Bible, you pray, you go to church, you don't sin, or you try not to sin, you stay obedient, you do what you're told, and you will be blessed. But it's not quite so. And I was realizing that. So like, for example, Pastor Mike, we talked about crazy faith or bamboo faith or these theories. His journey with Christ, for example, like, for him to get to where he's at, he talked about how he wrote down his, like, what God gave him, wrote down the plan, and worked really hard and stayed obedient. He didn't go into the music ministry. He decided to stick with God's plan and do all of that, and this is what his result was. So he kind of gave like a formula, like a 1 plus 2 equals 3. So in my head, I was like, okay, I'm doing that formula, so I thought, and it's not yielding that result. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So that's how I felt. I felt like everything that I know is wrong. Like, maybe, I don't know, like I don't get it. So then she ended up, the leader of the group, her name is Natasha. She ended up calling me, and we ended up talking for like over an hour. Super grateful for her. That talk was really needed and kind of like gave me a lot of confirmation, clarity. So the vision that I got from God really gave me a lot of clarity on the type of person that I am and the things that I need to work on. Things that he's gonna work on me through. So work through me. Why did I say it like that? Yeah. So basically, if I recall correctly, it was a vision of, it was two different versions. So the first version was me, and the second version is who, what I should have been, basically, who I need to be, kind of. So, it was a vision of a kid, and I'm the kid, and okay, well, I'm not the kid. Well, yes, okay. This was the vision. This is the vision. So it was a kid. I wasn't me. It was a little boy and his mom, and they were in their house, and the kid asked the mom, "Mom, I really want to go to Disney World," and the mom said, "Okay, we'll go to Disney World. I'll take you to Disney World, and I'll let you know when." So the mom couldn't tell the son when because she had to save up money. She had to take on extra shifts at work. She had to save up money, and she wanted it to be wanted it to happen during his birthday. His birthday's a few months out, and she wanted it to save enough money to bring his whole family. She wanted to bring his whole family to come together to celebrate her son in Disney World. She wanted them to stay there for 2 weeks instead of a quick weekend trip. So that was like the vision that I got. Like, she's working towards that, so she didn't give her son an exact date, because what she's planning is bigger than, and like a quick weekend trip right away to Disney World with a limited amount of money. So yeah, so but the son doesn't know when. So the son, in his mind, he's like, okay, mom said she's gonna take me to Disney World, but even though the mom said, I'm gonna take you, I'll let you know when, the son is very anxious and very, not necessarily doubtful, but keeps nagging and reminding the mom of Disney World. So every day he's like, Mom, you're gonna take me to Disney World, right? And what he does is, like, he cleans the whole house. He makes sure that he does all his chores. He like overdoes it. Like, he constantly cleans, and then like after everything, every day he's like, Mom, like, look what I did. Like, I made sure I did everything, like all my chores. I did my homework. I got all A's. Like, I'm doing everything you asked for and more. Don't forget that I really want to go to Disney World. And the mom is like, yes, like, I'm gonna take you to Disney World. I'll let you know when. And the son is still very anxious. Every day he wakes up and he's like, I really want to go to Disney World. I'm gonna make sure that I do everything perfect so that mom doesn't take it away from me. Like, that mom makes sure that we still go. That, like, I don't want to jeopardize my opportunity to go to Disney World. And as the weeks, the days go by, the mom is like, trying to still like bring fun into the kid's life. Like, you want to go to the park, asking the son, like, let's go to the park, let's go to this party, like, let's go, like, you want to do sports. And the son is like, no, like, I don't want to have any fun. Because in the son's mind, the son is like, I don't want to go out to the park, I don't want to have any fun, I don't want to do anything, because I don't want to jeopardize my opportunity to go to school. I want to make sure and show to my mom that I'm being very obedient, a very good kid, that I'm like sacrificing my fun, my joy, because I'm hoping and really, really hoping that she takes me to Disney World. So I'm going to make sure that I'm cleaning every day, that I'm reminding her so she doesn't forget. I'm not having any fun. I'm not hanging out with my friends, my family, my cousins. I'm not going out to no birthday parties. I'm not going out to have fun. I'm making sure that I'm obedient. Everything my mom says I'm going to do. I have all A's. I'm going to make sure I work really hard so that she takes me to Disney World. So when God gave me that vision, I was like, oh, it made a lot of sense. And then God kind of was like, put yourself in the mom's shoes. And I was like, yeah. The way that I would lose my everlasting mind if my child if my child every single waking day was constantly reminding me of something I told them I was already going to do, I would lose my mind. And I would just be like, you know what, we're never going. Go sit down. I would be very annoyed. I would be absolutely very annoyed if every single day my child was like, we're going to Disney World, right? And I'm like, I would lose all patience. Honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. And it would be very annoying. And I'm like, why? Just why? Like, I told you we're going. Why do you keep reminding me? Like, why are you doing all these chores? Like, why are you trying to wash my clothes? Why are you mopping the ceiling? Like, sit down. Why you don't want to go to your cousin's birthday party? Like, calm down. We're gonna go to Disney World. I told you we're going. I'm making the plans. I'm picking up 12 more hours of shifts every week. Like, we're going. Calm down. Like, you don't even know what I'm planning for you. I'm trying to make it a surprise for your birthday, but you're doing too much. Like, that would be me as a mom. In my head, I wouldn't tell my child that, I think. I'm not a parent, so like, I would feel so annoyed. Like, what? I'll probably vent this to my therapist or my husband. Like, what is wrong with our child? Like, why? And then I'll feel like, yo, maybe my child just like thinks I'm like this, the most evil person ever. Like, my child probably thinks I'm Hitler. Like, my child probably thinks I'm like this tyrant, like this evil person. Because why would he constantly do all of this? Like, why wouldn't he say that I'm gonna take him to Disney World? Like, what? I gave him everything he wanted for Christmas. Why wouldn't I come? Like, what? Why wouldn't I take him to Disney World? Like, when I said I would. Like, I don't get it. And once God gave me that vision, I was like, oh, LOL. I'm embarrassed. And I was like, okay, I'm annoying. And and I was telling this to Natasha on the phone, and she's just like, you're not annoying. I was like, you know I am, because literally that's how I felt. That's exactly how I operated with God. Like, although the Bible says to keep on praying, keep on asking, but it doesn't say keep on nagging and like, you know, like nagging in a way where like you don't really believe it's going to happen. Like, you know what I mean? And then Natasha was like, that's exactly it. She was like, that is a beautiful and perfect description. Like, that is a great vision. And I was like, right? I was like, it gave me some clarity on how my relationship has been with God and how I've been operating as his child. Like, very like tense, and anxiety feeling. She was like how God was like, basically on the other hand, like, baby girl, like, I love you. I said I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it. Like, you don't even know what I'm preparing for you. Calm down. Like, you still could have fun. You still could go out. You can still do the things that bring you joy. Like, I'm not going to take it away from you. I'm not dangling this opportunity over your head. And any little mistake that you do, I'm going to take it away from you. And that's exactly how I felt with God. I felt like any little mishap, any little sin, any little thing that I do that's wrong, he's gonna take anything that I've been hoping and praying for. So to get that revelation and that vision, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how do I move from there? Like, how do I move from there? And the other side of that was how I'm supposed to react to it. So for example, the same analogy, the kid goes to the mom, I'm gonna go to Disney World, and the mom's like, okay, we'll go and I'll let you know when we're going. and that's it. The kid is like, okay, mom, thank you so much. And the kid goes on, does his best at school, still goes out, still have fun, still plays with his mom, tells his mom he loves, like, still acts like a kid, still lives his life, still makes mistakes. And on the other side, like, I got to put myself in the parent's shoe. Like, if I'm preparing a plan, if I'm preparing a trip for my kid, and my kid, like, I don't know, like, doesn't pick up his clothes, am I going to, like, now trying to get reimbursed for everything that I, like, no, like, I'll be like, the two does not correlate. Like, him not doing his chores doesn't necessarily make me want to not take him to Disney World for his birthday anymore. Make me want to stop planning all the things I've been planning for. That's a good parent. A good parent is not going to wave around the opportunity of, like, oh, you want to go to Disney World? Well, you better make sure that you got all A's and da 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 da. Some parents are like that. And now I'm speaking about it. I know exactly where that stems from, from my dad, and growing up, in the toxic environment that I grew up in. I felt like I had to be on my P's and Q's so I wouldn't get beaten. So it was like that anxiety and fear of doing bad carried on with my relationship with God, to where, like, if I'm asking God for something, I don't necessarily believe he's gonna give it to me unless I am as perfect as that could be, unless I don't do anything, I don't laugh, I don't have fun, I make sure, like, I'm doing everything by the book. And when I got that revelation, it really freed me in a way where I was like, okay, that's what I was doing wrong. Now I got an understanding of, like, how I've been operating and what God is asking of me. God doesn't want me to not go out with my friends, hang out with my family. I'm still in my 20s. I should enjoy that. Life is very short, and he doesn't want me to regret me wasting my time in my room thinking that I'm going to be punished if I, God forbid, had a cocktail with my friend. Like, God forbid if I went to a concert. Like, God forbid, like, like, he's not that type of God. And, Natasha, she was just like, God is, like, looking at me like, wow, like, I love you so much, and I hate that you have this perception of me, perception of a father that's, like, manipulative, a father that's, like, um using fear tactic to get their children to do what he wants them to do. And I hate that that's who I was, and that's where I've been for so long with God. Because God knows where I would have been if I would just, like, would have relaxed more. And God is just like, Natasha was just, like, confirming. God is like, calm down, relax, like, I got you, like, I got it, everything is in control, I got you, I didn't forget about you, I love you, and everything I'm doing for you is for your good. Like, go out, have fun, live your life, live it alone, like, let loose, let go of control. I got it, you're doing just fine. And I needed that so much, because I felt like I don't know, I just couldn't understand or wrap my head around what I was doing wrong. And once I got that confirmation and God gave me that vision of the son and the mom, it really gave me, like, a clear vision of who I've been in my relationship with God and how I should be. So once I got that, the following week, I've been like, you know what? I've been going out more. I've been, trying not to take life so seriously. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I take it very, very seriously. It's good in a sense because, I've been working on myself, and, like, that seriousness has allowed me to elevate in other ways. But when it comes to my relationship with God, like, in life is so short. Like, I don't want to regret living, having fun, making connections, dating, going out, because of fear messing up, because of fear of God not liking me or loving me, because of fear of, missing out. And yeah, that freed me so much. So definitely better in a better space, and I even feel freer now just talking about it again. So I'm glad to be back and sharing exactly where I've been and what I went through. It was a lot, and a lot of transformation has to happen, and I'm not 100% like freed, but I definitely feel lighter. I definitely have less anxiety, and one thing that I still have a hold on me is tithing. Like every time I get unemployment, still right now, thank God, I still have this like anxiety feel of like, okay, if I don't tithe, God is not going to do this, or God is going to do this, and I have to let go of that. I have to live and be free in who He called me to be. And I hope this resonates with someone, whoever you are, whenever you watch this, to know that like God is not manipulative. Like He's not like, oh, you want that house? Well, you better do this and do that. Oh, you want that car? Well, you better, like, He's not that. He's not the earth. He's not a human being. Human beings act like that. And I grew up in a home where it was like that, where I felt like I had to be nice to my dad. I had to do this and this and that because of fear of like not getting what I'm asking for, fear of getting beaten. And my dad, my earthly dad, has done that. Like, has punished me for not like doing certain things his way, or punish me for messing up, or not even messing up. Like, example that comes to mind is like we had lived in a basement of like, not family but like friends of family in their home, and I had asked the man of the household to help me with my homework. And I went to my dad first. My dad said he couldn't help me, so I went to that guy and asked him for help with my homework. And he's a teacher. That person was a teacher. And my dad walked in on him, that guy helping me with my homework, and he got very jealous and very upset, very nasty. And later on, I went to my dad to, like, hey dad, like, play with him, and he like basically cursed me out and told me like, go away. And that instilled in me like from a very, and I was like what, 8, 9, very young, that like, ooh, like I don't ever want like to be rejected like that. I don't ever want to get on my dad's bad side. So let me do everything that I could do to be on his good side. And seeing how it translated to my relationship with God is very disheartening. And seeing that, but also I'm very grateful that I'm able to get this revelation now when I'm still in my 20s, now when I still have a whole lot left. Now that I'm very new in my career, like in the foundation, like we've only been in it for a year, and knowing that more is to come. So I don't know, I hope this resonates with whoever out there, but I definitely do feel lighter. I definitely do feel better about it. So moving forward, I hope that I'm able to be more me. Like, I didn't allow myself to associate with certain people because I felt like, oh, I need to be this way, I need to dress this way, I need to do this and do this, all of fear of coming out of God's covering or whatever, like, or a fear of God not loving me anymore. So now that I know there's literally nothing that I could do to make God stop loving me, it's been freeing, but also it's been hard because it's something that I have to actively rewire in my brain. How I maneuver in life, I have to literally like think like, okay, why do I feel anxious about this? Why do I feel resistance? Like, where is this coming from? So yeah, so I did also reach out and sign up for therapy. So I'm waiting for them to get, hit me back up, because I really want to work through this anxiety, really want to work through letting go of control, and letting go of that standard that I put on myself that God didn't put on me, and really healing that trauma from my dad. But yeah, so that is all. So that's what's been going on with me, and I've really been looking into getting a co-host. So hopefully when season 2 comes, so This is gonna be the end of season 1. We're done 11 episodes, and I don't know if I'm gonna take a break to maybe like get new equipment, or like get a co-host maybe, or like, I don't know, rearrange certain things, or maybe not. I may come back next week, or I may take a break, or whatever, but I will definitely be back when I am back. But yeah, as always, I appreciate you all. This is definitely a work in progress. I'm definitely a work in progress, and this is the journey. This is it. This is honesty. This is transparency. Like, it's not always going to look beautiful. It's messy. It's ugly. It's up and it's down. But it's progression, and I'm happy that I got the revelation. Although I went through all that I went through, I had some pain in it. I'm glad that I'm able to see that and move forward in the next steps to becoming free, truly free. So yeah, so love you guys. Love you guys. God bless. Be safe, and be you. Bye.